serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They serve the God Versace, Louis, and Marc Jacob. Trickster, serving the master slicksters who trying to spit game in this game. So I say dash on them like Jay did. You lost one, not letting these legs live. It with perversion. Rather his sermons by Bacham, Piper, Mac, I think it's Virgin. Lust is a beast to be kept in cages. I don't twerk for the dance like David. I deserve death, he deserves my praises. We fought like birds, yeah, we stay raving. Wings of the angels who cover their faces in the presence of God. It's holiness, made eyes and the tribe to his knees. Holy, holy, holy. Now the people sing. Started from the bottom, now we here. Undeserved wretches, Christ who brought near. No status with God, but charges been clear. Now aligning my will with his good year. To bring that word of peace to misfits. And even if they pull the heat from their hip, to where he is. That is just a sin dog to where he is. Yeah, I'm using my mouth like speakers to recruit soldiers for the master to I'm using my mouth like speakers to recruit soldiers for the master to I'm tired of being silent, walking in Inglewood, dudes slinging rocks, no David, so the violence, then it's a tyrant, they tell me be quiet. Got me feeling like John on my island, the pack, most exile living here, never afraid, his love cast out fear. Bullets fly in the shy, but we make rounds. UFOs dish it out, stuff the ground. Step to the rhythm of this gospel salsa. Serve it up to him on the plate, salsa. Be ahead or beheaded. We follow the lamb to the slaughter. Christians, you ready? Tell them heaven is a celebration. Don't miss out on the party, view the invitation. Come on, ye, heavy laden, but you can't see, you be saving out of the darkness, for we glow. The hearts are hardened, but we know God created all stars, converse with the universe, and redeemed us from the curse. We deserve no more chances, but only because of Christ we've been handed the right to become his sons and daughters. We share this gospel on every corner, because I'm screwed if you wasn't nailed to the cross. I snooze if I don't want to share with the lost faith. This is a white man's religion, but he can make you colorblind when he restores vision. Causing the only hue that you see is red. That means your blood body, your spirit was led. So walk by faith and not by sight. So let me tune on my voice and you see right. I'm using my mouth like speakers to recruit soldiers for the master. I'm using my mouth like speakers to recruit soldiers for the master.
Welcome to Dragon Sports Live with Brett and Dante here. We got an exciting show for you today. What are we talking about today? What's the rundown for today?
Well, we'll run down the Bears game, obviously, as they thrashed the Bucs 48-10 at Soldier Field on Sunday, and hopefully coming out party for the quarterback Mitchell Trubisky, as he looked quite phenomenal. Everyone looked phenomenal, but everyone was waiting on Trubisky to have that decent game because we know his accuracy hasn't been spectacular, but made some great throws on that one, and touch on the rest of the league and NFL, and talk a handful of players coming back from suspension. Some good names too coming back as well.
Yes, sir.
From their respective suspensions and everything. A couple of running backs, New England getting a receiver back and everything. Maybe touch on some Bulls preseason action as they started off well, 1-0 over the Pelicans. Played tonight against Milwaukee. Hopefully that Chicago team can beat that Milwaukee team.
We'll see. Stay tuned. But coming up right now, we got Yeah, It's Cool here on Dragon Jump Sports.
So what you gonna do? Will you tell the truth? Or play me like a fool? Either way is cool. You have lost your goddamn mind, treating me like this. 'Cause I'm hearing different things and now I'm getting this. I can't figure out just why you found it worth the risk. So I'm telling you goodbye, 'cause I can't handle it. No, you want love, then I'll what you wanna do? Will you tell the truth? Or play me like a fool? Either way is cool. I've warned you once, I've warned you twice, but third time's not the charm. I've packed it up, you're out the door. I've reset the alarm. Hey, I don't wanna get into it, no. You already know where to go. Give me the keys to my car. Already lost the keys to my heart. You're telling me it's jealousy, but you don't understand. It's obvious the things you do are pushing me away. Yeah. It's different now, we changed somehow. I can't even see. Yeah. Where do we go from here? So what you wanna do? Will you tell the truth? Or play me like a fool? Either way is cool. So what you wanna do? Will you tell the truth? Or play me like a fool? Either way is cool. I thought you were into this. Sorry, but I keep spreading. If you wanna take it there, I know where you can put your tools in. Screw this. What would you wanna do? This you blew it. Go to hell and you might as well. Start calling up your door. You were into this. Sorry, but I keep spreading. If you wanna take it there, I know where you kiss my ass. So what would you wanna do? This you blew it. Go to hell, you might as well. Tell me what you wanna do. Will you tell the truth? Or play me like a fool? Yeah, either way is cool. So what you wanna do? Will you tell the truth? Or play me like a fool? Either way is cool. Yeah. So what you wanna do? Yeah. Will you tell the truth? Or play me like a fool? Either way is cool. So what you wanna do? Tell the truth. Or play me like a fool. Either way is cool. So what you wanna do? Maybe you should hide. Don't let this moment pass on by. Maybe you should hide. The night won't last much longer. I know you see me from there, undressing me with your stare. This ain't no time to be shy. I know you feel it, and so do I. You've been looking for something sweet. The search is over, honey, you found me. Treat yourself to a little XYZ. Come taste me, I'm candy. Maybe you should hide. Don't let this moment pass on by. Maybe we all should hide. The night won't last much longer. I'm smiling in your direction, giving you an open invitation. Fortune favors the bold, I've heard. So come here, baby, dessert is served. You've been looking for something sweet. The search is over, honey, you found me. Treat yourself to a little XYZ. Come taste me, I'm candy. Maybe you should hide. Don't let this moment pass on by. Maybe we all should hide. The night won't last much longer. I want you to come and see me. Kiss my lips and touch my body. I've been waiting for far too long. Tonight this pleasure would be so wrong. Should I? Should I? Should I? Should I?
Chicagoland Sports Radio is your home for all of the latest Chicago sports news. CSR is not only the home to the most entertaining and informative shows in Chicago, but covers all of the top college and high school games as well. Big guests and bigger personalities. This is your home for the greatest debates in sports. Broadcasting live from State Street in the South Loop. For all of the news, analysts, and interviews to keep you informed, log on to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com to listen live. Chicagoland Sports Radio is not just sports, it's a way of life.
Running, training should feel like Cloud9. When you squat, you fly. When you run, you're Flash. When you play basketball, you're Jordan. When you clean with purpose. When you walk, you strut.
So don't just sit there or lay around. Just do it with the Nike Air Versatile. Basketball, running, and training, even walking, never felt so good. So grab you a pair at any local Nike store or online at www.nike.com. So grab your Nike Air Versatile and live your life the Nike way. Just do it. You won't regret it. These shoes are running out fast, so head over to your nearest Nike outlet and pick up your pair today. So pick up your pair of Nike Air Versatiles today. You won't be disappointed.
Welcome back to Dragon Jump Sports, where we have Brett and myself, Dante. So we did kind of tease that we was talking about these players that are coming back home. Now I have a whole list of these players, and let's see if they're like we're gonna let them know, like, do you think gonna be impacted or not impacted? Let's start off with the list. Number 10 for the Chargers, Corey Liuget is coming back, and he was suspended for 4 games for performance enhancing drugs. Do you think that will improve the Chargers interior line?
I mean, it could. The Chargers maybe a little bit of a disappointing start to the season, 2-2. We certainly weren't expecting the Chiefs to get off to the start that they have this season. But I mean, it always helps to get interior linemen, obviously, and
Most def.
and when you're in a division now that apparently Marshawn Lynch is kind of back and everything with Oakland and all that, and of course
Howard, Cohen going through lines too.
Right. So I mean, getting defensive linemen huge for the Chargers, and maybe this could kind of turn them around here as they, to me, they're off to a little bit of a disappointing start.
See, not only he's coming back from that, he's also coming back from an off-season foot surgery that he had. But his boy Darius Fallon needs help in the interior line,
Right.
So let's see how that's gonna impact when he returns. Another returning, Robert Turbin is coming back, and he only managed to have 1,344 yards rushing, 3.8 a carry in 6 seasons. So he's not really gonna be that factor to me.
No, I mean, and not at all. I mean, he, like you said, what was it, 600 yards and how many yards?
1,344.
And how many seasons?
6 seasons.
Yeah. So I'm gonna probably go out on a limb and say probably not much of anything. But who knows? Looking at the Colts, it's a pretty putrid offense. I don't think he'll offer too much. Obviously, it's an offense that's 31st and 31st in the NFL, 22nd in rushing. I mean, it's kind of a.
So he ain't gonna really make no impact.
Probably not.
He's just gonna be the player, just the role player. He coming back like, I'm back.
He's,
Throw me the ball.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Then we all know we got Earl Thomas back too. He signed, but he had got an injury.
Yeah, and that alone, is an entire topic and everything. It's interesting too because he was the other big holdout and everything, and now he's finally he starts playing with the Seahawks, and now he's out for the rest of the season with a leg broken leg or something, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And then and it's interesting to think that his lasting impression as a Seahawk, you would think he's not gonna be a Seahawk anymore. His lasting impression is him giving the old sideline the one finger salute.
The one finger. Oh, the one.
The bird. But
it'd be alright.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're gonna keep going. Giants defensive lineman Josh Morrow is back. He's not really bringing none. He had 24 starts though. I don't see him fitting in with this, especially as they go against Chimera and them.
Well, yeah, that, and they're playing the Panthers as well, who's got Christian McCaffrey you got to account for and everything as well, and of course Cam Newton, who loves to scramble as well. So I mean, obviously when it comes to linemen as much not in terms or come after the quarterback and when they're scrambling or whatnot, but
he should boast the defense to stop the run. Like their run defense kind of.
Yeah, it's not a good defense. It's 31st in football.
Yeah,
Giants,
so I'm like, they're 31st. He should bolster that up a little bit where they can move up in the ranks.
Right.
That way, yeah, because they get the ball just run, they throws get ran
right
to the ground when they run against the run. Whew. Another defensive, and all these linemen are PE substance abusers, and it's like,
yeah, I mean it makes sense. Everyone's returning, and it's usually a 4-game suspension, and now everyone's quickly coming, rushing in through that door. You mentioned it before we came back on break. How it was literally everyone except for one player who was who's come back from substance abuse.
David Irvin, the substance abuser.
Yeah, there we go. Shout out, I guess. But
shots fired.
But I mean, yeah, it's we'll get to some of these bigger names too that are coming back for key teams as well, because we know a certain Patriot coming back as well. They're 2-2. I know they came off a big win with Miami, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Well, speaking of that certain Patriot, Edelman is back, so that's going to give you another receiver for Tom Brady to throw to. Who actually, when he's in the game, he's great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've already they've added Josh Gordon and everything throughout the past week, and I mean, it's not like this Patriots offense needs any more firepower. It's first in the league in offense, second in passing, 10th in rushing and everything. Obviously
Really?
right. It's the defense with the Patriots.
They're 10th in rushing, though.
10th
Really?
in rushing. 10th in rushing. I'm looking at it right now. But it's it's obviously a Patriots team. The offense is going to be fine, and then it's going to be can the defense at least do enough to hold the opposition to less points than what they score.
I don't know, because you got 3 weapons now. Gordon looking good his first debut with the Patriots, of course. Gronk just being Gronk. And then Element, he ain't really touched the football, so he thirsty, he hungry, so that's going to be a good little setup right there for Tom Brady. Not being biased, but I am.
Right, yeah.
We also had Mark Ingram's coming back, too. So, Kamara, like I was saying earlier, for Kamara's the speed booster. Ingram is your power, your truck stick. So to have them back together, and they average with them both together, they average 1,500 yards from the scrimmage in the same season.
Yeah, I mean, Kamara coming off a huge game. I mean, it seems like Kamara always has a huge game as he came off 130. This is just rushing, by the way. 134 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, and he had a couple of receptions as well, maybe in the 50 or 60 yard range.
It was like 60 yard.
But I mean, now you're at like you said, Ingram, second ranked offense in football, 5th in passing, 5th in rushing and everything. Obviously, we think of the Saints and their high scoring offense and everything, and now you add Ingram, who is going to give, I mean, probably not huge breaks to Kamara, but he's going to give him important breaks and whatnot. And Ingram, like you said, Ingram being the truck stick that he's going to be for the Saints, he'll give Kamara a little bit less of a workload and everything, and maybe a third down and goal line back.
Yeah, he's that power. And it's like, to me, with the Saints defense, offense, not defense, excuse me. They literally mix it up. Like, you'll see 2 snaps where it's Kamara, 2 snaps where it's Ingram. Like, they're literally switching up, or they'll have both of them in at the same time. One playing the fullback position as a blocking back, and then go out to receive. So it's like, to have, like you said, it's going to take that workload off Kamara. He's not going to be trying to be like, hi, I got to do all this until my bro get back, because your bro here, he back. So that's a good thing. Another good thing is Bengals get Vontaze Burfict back too.
Question is, how long is he going to stay back? Because we always know he gets
he
gets himself in some trouble a bit. But no, I mean, it's the Bengals are off to a really surprising start. Being 3-1, it's a couple of surprising teams playing against each other this Sunday between the Dolphins and Bengals. But it's just the Bengals. Everyone. It's always a team that that you don't want to buy in, because you start buying into them, and then all of a sudden they'll just smash your hopes and dreams of anything.
I'm a faithful type. I stay with the teams that I like. Like, I like the Bears. I like the Patriots. I'm staying with those teams regardless what happens. Now, maybe like, get this guy out of here, type thing, because that's how it was when we had Jake Cutler. Because it's like, the dude didn't care. He just didn't care at all.
But yeah, I mean, can we trust the Bengals? Maybe. I mean,
they looking great right now.
Because I mean, the division's not doing themselves any favors. I mean, Baltimore's tied with them at 3-1. But again, can we trust them as well? Can we trust Baltimore to sustain this throughout the season? And I like Baltimore. I like Cincinnati's offense a lot more. When they have, what you said like 2 weeks ago, when they have Mixon, they have a decent record, and then without him, they're winless.
Yeah, is he back yet?
I am looking at the injury report, and it's looking like he is going to be back.
So, let's see if they add on to that column.
And on top of that, the offense just looks, phenomenal. Dalton already throwing, 11 touchdowns so far and everything, and of course, you have AJ Green and all that.
He's on my fantasy. He's doing great for me on fantasy right now.
But yeah, can Cincinnati sustain it for the rest of the season and get a dang win in the playoffs? Because
they haven't won in the playoffs in a while.
It's been a while, and it's just like, Groundhog Day when it comes to Cincinnati. It's just, if they do well, then they always end up falling flat on their face, and then the coach Marvin Lewis comes into question, and then everyone thinks, oh, well, he's going to get fired. Well, nah, just kidding. We're extending him, actually. So it's...
Yeah, I think he developed a bond. He became buddy-buddy with them.
So, I mean, who knows? Who knows, man? It's I like their chances this week, but rest of the season, I mean, you can't, they have the history that you can't trust them.
True enough. With that being said, we're going to give you Slick J. Adams So Good here on Dragon Jump Sports on the Chicagoland Sports Radio Station.com.
I don't know what you did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, heads turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20-piece. Cause girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. Oh, no. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Put your hair done, nail done. When you put that clone on, why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done. When you put that clone on, why you gotta look so good? I can look and see you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a chick. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me I'll let you get away. Oh, no. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done. When you put your clothes on, why you gotta look so good? It's something about you. When you put your clothes on, when you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Or when you're at the job just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club, turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting the wrong woman on. Why you gotta look so good? With your hair down and your nails done. When you put the clothes on, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
Lights, camera, action. there, I'm Dante Pay. I am the founder and CEO of Dragon Jump Productions. Dragon Jump Productions specializes in media production based in Chicago. We offer services in graphic design, photography, as well as videography. We also work with models as well. So if you got an idea for a photo shoot or you need to be branded, let us help you make your brand. Dragon Jump Productions will claw their way into stardom by making you look great. So if you want to book that next photo shoot with Dragon Jump Productions, reach out to dragonjumppro@gmail.com or call 773-892-4514. Again, that's dragonjumppro@gmail.com or call 773-892-4514. Let us take you and make you great. Book now, Dragon Jump Productions.
Chicagoland Sports Radio is your home for all of the latest Chicago sports news. CSR is not only the home to the most entertaining and informative shows in Chicago, but covers all of the top college and high school games as well. Big guests and bigger personalities. This is your home for the greatest debates in sports, broadcasting live from State Street in the South Loop. For all of the news, analysts, and interviews to keep you informed, log on to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com to listen live. Chicagoland Sports Radio. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
Welcome back to Dragon Jump Sports. I'm Dante and I'm Brett. If you're just tuning in and you're listening to us on the ChicagolandSports.com station.
It's a mouthful.
I literally just got my tongue got twisted just then. I don't even know what was about to happen. So before we went to break, just a little recap. We gave you the rundown of the players who are back with their team and how they can benefit their team. Now, since we gave you that, let's give you what's upcoming this week. So, and we're gonna pick them. We're gonna pick who we think should win that game and why we think should win that game. I'm gonna start. So the first game this Thursday, you got the Colts, that's 1-3, versus the 2-2 Patriots. I'm already going with the Patriots.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you're 1-1. You're speaking as a fan, obviously, but no, you're completely right. I'm with you on the Patriots. You found a stat how the Patriots have won how many games?
They have won their last 13 games against the Colts.
Yeah,
they're 13-3 against the Colts.
That's insane. And it's been all right. And okay, Colts offense and everything. Luck with already 9 touchdowns through the air, and of course we know the Patriots getting back Edelman and everything, and of course and adding everything else with Gronk and Gordon and all that. And it's I'm liking the Patriots' chances. So we're both agreeing on that one.
I'm definitely calling Patriots, even though as a fan, but just because I see their offense is clicking a little bit better than Andrew's Luck and his offense.
Yeah.
And then we also have Titans, who's 3-1, surprise, versus Bills, 1-3.
Yeah, the Bills let us down last week. We were hoping that they could go through the air, pick up 2 straight wins against North opponents, and unfortunately the Packers shut them out.
I knew. I was like, it's Aaron Rodgers.
and Rodgers has a ridiculous home record.
Yeah, they're undefeated at home.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the Bills had their moment of the season already, and just their third game against the Vikings, and I think they're gonna come back crashing to reality. I'm gonna take the surprising Titans, who are 3-1, picking up some good wins. They just knocked off the Eagles last week, the defending Super Bowl champs, in overtime, and Mariota's been playing well.
Yeah, that's why I'm going with Titans, Mario, just because he has been doing exceptionally well, whether it's running the ball on the ground or actually throwing the ball.
Right.
Most quarterbacks, they give you a piece of it, or they do one thing pretty well, like Tim Tebow, for example.
Oh, jeez.
See? Perfect example for that. See? Perfect.
I like Tebow, don't get me wrong.
I do too, but it was a perfect example. He ran the ball more than he threw, but Mariota has a very balanced
repertoire.
Yeah. That's the word I was looking for. Couldn't even get it out.
I got you.
We got the Giants that's 1-3 versus the Panthers.
Yeah,
Giants. That Giants Super Bowl team.
Yeah. I'm going with the Panthers and everything. I like their offense a lot more than I do with the Giants, even though the Giants probably have better weapons on offense, which is weird to say, but it's just I don't know. There's just the Giants just at times just look bad.
I think I'm gonna take the underdogs on this one. I'm gonna go with the Giants because
Okay.
I want to see. Like, I got a feeling these weapons that you talked about, Odell Beckham, Marshall, right? No, not Marshall. Saquon.
Yeah.
Saquon's been looking great.
Yeah. He's been my savior at running back for fantasy football this
So
year.
I'm going with the underdogs just because Odell's gonna have a breakout game. Saquon's gonna have a breakout game. Depending on which Eli we get.
Yeah.
If we get
And to be fair,
Super Bowl,
he's only thrown one pick so far this season, Eli, which is pretty good for him.
yeah, that's not bad at all. That's great.
Only 4 touchdowns through the air though. So
That sucks.
so I mean, what can you do?
Hey, at least he's getting them close and letting Barkley run
Right.
the storm.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That was Giants. Dolphins, Bengals. Both of these teams are 3-1.
Yeah, I touched on it. Two surprising teams that where they're at so far up in the first month of the season. Both teams are 3-1. The Dolphins got their comeuppance, as they would say, as they didn't. As
They got their come ups when Tannehill came back and not Cutler.
but New England just gave them a right hook and just said this isn't your division yet. We're still here, and and they
Oh yeah, that was a spanking.
completely thrashed them 38-7.
That was a spanking. I watched that game. I was like, ooh, thank you, New England.
And then, and Cincinnati, we touched on it as well. We talked about how decent their offense is and everything. Dalton's been playing relatively well. As far as I know, Mixon should be good to go.
back.
Not seeing him on the injury report, at least on the notable names. And they've been, successful when he's been in the lineup and everything. So I'm gonna take the Bengals, and hopefully, they could keep it going. I know we know last week they lost Tyler Eifert, their tight end, to a not so pretty ankle injury. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, don't remind me that ankle. Oh, I seen it after. So I was like, oh, he came right down on it.
Yeah. So give me the Bengals over the Finns.
I think I'm gonna go with the Fins over Bengals just because even though both of these teams are 3-1, the Dolphins been in this situation before, and I feel like their offensive weapons is slightly better than the Bengals.
Okay.
I do feel like their weapons, they have a slight advantage of it. You also got a vet in Frank Gore helping out too. So
Ageless Wonder, Frank Gore. Was he like on his 60th year? I'm kidding.
he's a legend.
He's been around a while.
Yeah, I think I was 10 when he first came in the league.
I mean, he's been around a while. We'll leave it at that. He's a scrappy veteran.
And then we also have the Ravens versus Browns. Now, last year, this game went to overtime. The Ravens, no, it didn't go to overtime. The Ravens came back in the fourth quarter to win this game. So let's see what they can do. It's like I'm going with the Ravens off the bat because the Browns can't finish.
I am gonna go with the Browns. Actually, I like they've got to be the most.
They got the spunk.
They got to be the most hard luck team in the league. I mean, they got screwed last week on a really bad spot against the Raiders. I don't know how you want to count unlucky being a really bad kicker or something against the Saints.
Who they let go
right
after that game
immediately, almost right away. But I mean, their offense is decent. I mean, Baker Mayfield looks pretty darn good. You got Hyde, who's just a kind of a huge a touchdown machine once you get into the red zone and everything. And of course, you got Jarvis Landry as your number one and everything. So I'm gonna. It's just weird to say I trust Cleveland more than Baltimore at this right now for some reason, even though Baltimore is coming in at 3-1. I don't know, man.
I can't. It's like the team is, like you said, the team is good. It's just that you can't.
Like you said,
finish.
They can't finish. They browns themselves a lot. I know.
Like if you can give me when you won that first game,
Right.
then y'all can okay. But it's like it's not even the offense; it's the defense. All y'all gotta do is hold them
Right.
for 4 plays,
Mhm.
make them kick it, or force them to have to go for it and stop him, and y'all would have won that game. And it's just like,
Yeah, because the defense is averaging 412 yards allowed a game. No bueno. No bueno. That's not going to win you many games. It might get you a tie.
you said they're averaging 425 yards a game.
412 yards against. Yeah.
Flacco is throwing that much in like the first half.
I know. I'm looking at it. Flacco with over 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns and 2 picks. And here I am sitting here picking the Browns like an idiot. I'm going to stick with it. I like
Hey,
Cleveland in this game.
you gotta. Cleveland may shock me, but that's what I say. I'm
I
gonna
know.
go with the Ravens on
I
this
know.
one.
There's no reason to trust them. And I don't blame you.
Division rivals: Packers versus Lions. Packers are 2-1 coming into this game, and Lions are 1-3. They did get their first win.
Yeah, I'm looking at ESPN's predictor. They have Green Bay as a favorite at 50.1%. So this is pretty much a toss-up right now. I mean, I know the Packers really haven't been playing all that well this season. They're averaging just under 400 yards on offense, but they're also averaging 250 yards against. So the defense hasn't been like spectacular. I mean,
It's
they
that
had
secondary.
they had a great showing against Buffalo, which I don't know how much stock you want to put that in. I know they played well against Minnesota, but completely shut down the Bills and Lions. I don't know, man. I mean, they got completely smoked week 1, and then the games after that, they could have won against the Giants. They ended up losing to the Cowboys late in that game, and whatever happened Sunday night against the Patriots last week, where they got their lone win. But it's a good offense. It's an offense that's going to give Green Bay trouble and everything. And always, Stafford, he's just going to sling it.
Lions.
You're actually going to the Lions?
I'm going with the Lions. Just because. So, if the Packers lose, they'll still stay on top.
Yeah, right.
But I
think-
also feel like
I think I'm going to agree with you because I'm just looking at the injury report right now. It's a bunch of questionable.
they got a question.
Devontae Adams is questionable, who is
Mhm.
the number 1 receiver. Jimmy Graham's questionable. Rogers questionable, but he'll most likely play anyway. Randall Cobb is questionable. Geronimo Allison.
So all your stuff.
Practically everyone he's throwing to is questionable. And I'm assuming most of them is going to be playing anyway. But they're walking wounded right now over in Green Bay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm going with the Lions because they got
And
more
it's
of a
not a coincidence I said walking wounded as a fire truck is driving by the studio right now. As you can probably hear. But no, I'll take the Lions partly because the Packers are banged up.
That's why I was like, I'm going to take the Lions because I knew they was banged up. I watched the last game where they was all getting up like, ow, my arm, my leg, ow.
Yeah, and it's a couple more months left in the season too.
Yes, football season seems like it's flying though. Jeez.
Yes, it's crazy how fast it's already been a month for the NFL.
Man. So we have the number 1 defense versus the number 1 offense. Jaguars versus the 4-0 Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's going to be a game.
Mahomes, man. I mean, what more can we say? He's 1,200 yards on the dot, 14 touchdowns, not a single interception. It has no turnovers yet. And, like you said, against the number 1 defense in the Jaguars. I mean, this is, perfect of, something's got to give. And
it's going to be a slot fest.
oh, it's gonna be awesome. It's probably gonna be a high scoring game because the Chiefs, well, maybe not high scoring, but the Chiefs defense averages 466 yards against them. So we got best offense, most likely one of, if not the worst defense in Kansas City against, a respectable offense in Jacksonville, and then a really good defense. So I mean,
You said Mahomes hasn't thrown a pick yet,
Mahomes
right?
has not turned the ball over once.
That may change against this Jacksonville. He may throw a pick.
Hey man, I thought it might have changed against Denver. He proved me wrong. That was on the road and everything. I'm surprised to see what ESPN has it as with Kansas City being a 58% favorite in this one. I mean, obviously it's got to be because it's at Kansas City at Arrowhead and everything, and that's such a difficult place to play. And I know you can't really trust. I don't know how much you can trust Bortles at quarterback right now. I know he had a decent game last week
He
against the Jets.
It's kind of like the fixed magic.
No, I like Bortles more than Fitzpatrick. I mean,
Borders is more consistent than Fitzpatrick. Like Fitzpatrick will give you like
Fitzpatrick had a whole career the first month of the season practically, and then of course he kind of was shaky. He played well against Pittsburgh, but then the Bears defense kind of
Bears defense shut him down.
right.
The secondary shut him down.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't even your normal people that was in the secondary that was shutting them down, which is the part that got me in that game.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more about that in a second. So we got the Broncos and Jets 2. Broncos are 2-2 and Jets are 1-3.
I cannot.
That's a hard one, right? It's so hard.
No, for me it isn't because the Jets offense hasn't really been good. Darnold's got more interceptions than he does touchdowns now, but Keenum just does this as well. Unfortunately, Darnold at 4 touchdowns, 5 picks. Keenum with 3 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
So there's gonna be a defensive battle. Who's got the better defense?
I don't even know if it's gonna be a good defense. I think it's just gonna be a couple of really bad offenses going at it or something, or possibly. Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to say the Broncos offense is bad because they're almost at 400 yards, but the Jets' offense, on the other hand, not very good, just a little over 300 yards. But I'm looking at this. They have the Jets as a 58% favorite for whatever reason. And whatever the line is, they have the Jets as a 1-point favorite, which is crazy to me. That's just crazy. I mean, if I were hypothetically speaking putting Lucky Charms on a game, it'd be this one. Take Denver, who is a 1-point underdog for some reason coming into this game, but give me Denver in this game.
I don't know. Casey Keenum's been looking really well to be traded to the Broncos. He's looking really well, so it's like I'm kind of gonna say the Jets on this one.
Taking the Jets.
I feel like I foreseen that Sam Darnold is gonna have another good game where he's connecting all his receivers. He's making the smart play, calling the right play, reading it right. The first couple games, he's a rookie still, so yeah, butterflies.
All right, fair enough.
And then we got the Falcons versus the Steelers. The Falcons are 1-3, and the Steelers are 1-2-1. That sounds so funny saying
yeah, I know. This game is gonna be practically basketball on turf. A bunch of very good offenses going at it. Great passing yard. Great passing.
Great passing.
Great passing offenses. Thank you. This game's gonna have a lot of scoring because good offenses and bad defenses. Because both defenses give up pretty decent amount over 400 yards. Both offenses are practically
even
mirror
right?
images. I mean, the Steelers average 0.8 of a yard more than the Falcons do. So I mean, the offenses are gonna be the thing in this game because you have 2 quarterbacks who are almost top of the league in terms of passing yardage in Roethlisberger and Matt Ryan. I guess I should make a pick. I'll take the Steelers.
I'm gonna go with the Falcons on this one.
Okay, this one's a toss up, man. I mean,
just because the last couple games, like even though Ben has been averaging 20 points in fantasy, the games that I watch is just like, dude, what are you doing?
Right,
wake up, man.
Yeah, and this game could come down to who has the ball last.
So that's why, and in that possession, Falcons actually have a better chance when they have the ball last. Like they know how to drive down and at least try to score.
Right. Exactly.
So like I'm going with Matt Ryan, and because of the rookie.
Oh, Ridley. Talking Ridley, yeah, man.
Ridley and Jones.
And Julio doesn't even have a touchdown yet this season. Ridley's taking them all.
Yeah, I'm going just with the rookie. The rookie's gonna give me a win this week. Raiders Chargers. Raiders are 1-3 versus the 2-2 Chargers.
This one's kind of a toss up for me too. I know the Raiders don't have that great of a record. Their offense is phenomenal.
They don't got no defense.
Averaging over 450 yards on offense, but giving up a little over 400 yards as well per game. Carr's been okay. I mean, he's putting up decent numbers, but he's also throwing a lot of picks. He's got 6 touchdowns, 7 picks, and everything. Rivers has been really good with the ball. 11 touchdowns and 2 picks.
Well, yeah, that you gotta be good with the ball.
Oh, I know, absolutely.
It's Breeze, Rivers, Brady,
Rodgers probably.
Yeah, that like they just throw the ball and definitely
Yeah,
Rodgers.
they're smart with it, right? And you know,
And they're old guys.
right.
They're in their 30s.
And you know, and we speaking of that, you know, you got Marshawn Lynch who had a really good game last week. Jared Cook all of a sudden is back to being a really good tight end who I am still salty about because I drafted him like the season after he played really well and he was garbage. And now this year he's just like, oh hey, guess what? I can football again.
Don't you hate that when you draft somebody for fantasy and
like,
then
oh,
they turn
man.
out to be like really?
Doo doo.
And the same thing that happened to me. I had
Looking at
Ben.
you, Dalvin.
Yeah, I had Dalvin Cook too. Only I'm gonna talk about that one.
Yeah.
Vikings 1-2-1 again, and then the Eagles 2-2.
These are teams that have got to get some wins here. They've struggled. I mean, the Vikings are 0-2-1 their past 3 games. The tie, being with Green Bay and then losing to the Bills and Rams, which no shame in losing to the Rams, obviously. Eagles
Rams crushed them.
Yeah. Eagles. They're 1-2 the last 3 with losses to the Bucks and Titans, and obviously it wasn't
2 good teams. Those are hard.
Yeah, and it's not. At the time the Bucks were a really good offense and everything with Fitzpatrick, and then just escaping the Colts, who are a Hail Mary away if you really want to consider that being close, and then whatever with the Titans. I mean, Wentz has been fine since he came back. Since he's come back, he's over 600 yards in the 2 games that he's played in, but the Eagles don't seem to just do enough. It seems their defense is doing okay, but the offense is not giving them just enough to get the wins.
I say bring Foles back.
Bring Foles back?
Yeah.
I don't know. And looking at Dalvin Cook, he is yet to reach 100 yards rushing this season.
Your heart just got broken. You're like, oh, my heart.
Oh my God! I know the Vikings are last in rushing offense, if not second to last.
Yeah. Cardinals 0-4. The only team without a win. The Browns are better than them versus the 49ers. That's 1-3.
Yeah, the Cardinals aren't very good. They don't really have that great of a quarterback. I know Josh Rosen. I get those two mixed up all the time. Had his first start, and then obviously it didn't end up going very successfully. I mean, they only lost by 3 to Seattle, but it's a Cardinal team that's, the last 2 games they've come close. They led the Bears for a decent amount of the game.
For the whole first half, half into the fourth quarter.
And I think they had a lead with Seattle at one point too, but it's just a really lackluster offense and everything. And David Johnson has got, he's got to be David Johnson. He's only got 2 touchdowns on the ground right now. I think he's got I know he has at least 1 receiving touchdown. But you gotta have good quarterback play to obviously be successful, obviously. And
quarterback is still like Rosen. Wow, I almost said Allen myself.
Yeah, see,
Rosen is pretty good, but I think he was shooken up when you put him in the last 4 minutes against the Bears.
That was a weird decision. That was a really weird decision.
I would at least put him in at halftime. You put him in the last 4 minutes, even though he almost got the winning drive, but you put him in the last 4 minutes.
Right.
So it's like, I think he was shaken up because you met the Mac attack.
Yeah, and what can we say? Mac has been phenomenal.
So he gonna be shaky, and it's like, I'm gonna give him 2 more games, and then we'll see.
Yeah, give him a little more experience. I mean, like I said, it was weird throwing him in to the Bears game. Such a good defense with literally, it's like, here you go, man. Your first drive is to try to win the game in the last 4 minutes. So we'll see. We'll withhold judgment.
And then we also have the other undefeated team, Rams 4-0 versus the Seahawks.
Yeah, Rams. I mean,
Rams all day.
Right. I mean, what more can you say? That they're an absolute juggernaut on both sides, really, for the most part. I mean, I know the Vikings kind of picked them apart a little bit, but I mean, the offense is so good with Gurley and Cook and Brandon Cooks, and it's just, oh my, it's a murderer's row practically. It's like the greatest show on turf is back again, and this time it's in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and the Seahawks not really doing too well as far as the run attack. Their Legion of Boom is
gone.
Yeah. So you don't even have that defensive impact because they're all gone. And then we got the Texans and Cowboys. Texans coming in this game 2-2. Big ups to Watson in the last win on that. And the Cowboys won in 3. Who got that win when
Yeah, you mentioned that stat. They fed Zeke, and they won. Texans are kind of getting back into the things. Watson's looking more like to what we saw before. He ended up getting have his ACL injury at practice, and I mean, Cowboys offense, it's got to run. It's literally got to run through Ezekiel Elliott. Otherwise, it's just not going to go anywhere.
Zeke and Dak. If Dak have 200 yards and Zeke has that 20 plus carries, yeah, they're winning.
Yeah, exactly.
And that showed yesterday.
I'm taking Houston in this one. I think the Texans finally are going to kind of get the ball rolling some more now after they finally got their first win last week over Indianapolis, and Watson finally looking like himself before he ended up getting injured. So I'm going to take the Texans on this one.
I'm going to take the Cowboys on this one if Dak and Zeke, if Dak get the 200 yards and Dak gets
exactly.
25 plus carries.
Exactly.
So with that being said, wow, time flies. Dang.
Yeah.
We're going to let y'all go with a song today and tune in with us next week. Same time, same place. Here on Dragon Sports Radio on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com with Brett and Dante. Peace out.
Lately I've been having these dreams. Oh, no. I don't really know what it really means. But don't wake me up. Please don't wake me, I must be dreaming, 'cause I've been seeing so many beautiful women. Alicia Keys, looking sexy on a keyboard, in the studio be all night making love. If this a dream, then just let me sleep, 'cause all I wanna do is wake up next to Ashanti. I'm dreaming of making love to be free. Yes. Oh yeah. Don't wake me up, 'cause I'm dreaming. Just don't wake me up, 'cause I'm dreaming. Don't wake me up, 'cause I'm dreaming. Just don't wake me up. Let me dream. Now dreaming catching it